Hi, Stephen here from Sound of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 23 of the August daily draws, and it's the midweek point. So let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Seers Tarot, followed by an oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. And today we will go there. And our card today is the Lovers. So it's about what we devote our time and our energy and our very selves to. You know, it could be a person, it could be a relationship, but it could also be to our spiritual path. It could be to a project. It could be, to taking care of ourselves even. It's about commitment, choosing what we commit and not rushing into a choice of commitment. But once we've done it, we need to understand the nature of what we're doing, what we're committing to. And so if there's something that we're facing, we're wondering whether to go for it or not, whether to commit to it. Maybe it has long-term implications. Maybe this is usually it's not choosing, what socks to wear, or what we're going to wear today, or what we're going to have for breakfast, or what we're going to have for lunch. It's not that kind of choice, because there's a possibility we can choose, and there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, depending where we're going. Of course, some items of clothing might not be suitable for certain places, but you know what I mean. But you know what I'm saying. It's not so much of a big choice. The choice I'm making is like entering into a long-term relationship or marriage, for instance. That's definitely a commitment, and it's something serious. It's a legal commitment for a start, as well as a spiritual, and well, no, it's not always religious, is it? Because sometimes you go and just do the legal ceremony, but there's that commitment to a person that's supposed to be a long-term commitment. It could be a new job that you hope will be a long-term thing. Is it right for you? Could be a long-term project. Is this right for you to spend your time on this particular project? Or would your time be better spent on something else? All these things to consider. And this is perhaps what we're doing today at this midweek point. What is it that I'm going to, the spiritual path? That's a very important thing. That's very deep commitment. And what is it that on our spiritual path that we want to commit to, devote to? Is this the kind of path we want to follow? Do we want to change something about this path? All kinds of choices, but what it takes is, are we prepared to put in the time and the energy and the devotion for whatever it is that it's going to take for our part to make it work? And is this the right thing for us, for our path, for our journey, for our, does it match? Will it help us grow? Do we have that connection with it, or are we just doing it because we think we ought to do it, or we might quite like to do it, but quite like to do it is not necessarily enough of a motivation for this type of choice and commitment. So whatever it is that we're facing, and of course I'm being general, because it's going to, trying to give examples, but it's going to be different. But we all got different situations, of course, so I can't necessarily pinpoint everybody's circumstance. But we will know when we hear it what it is that we could be it could be referring to, and it's just telling us to just take a moment to think about what it is you're committing to. Make sure it's the right choice. It's not saying it's not the right choice at all. This is not making. That's for us to decide. This card is not saying whether what we're doing is right or wrong. Maybe in a wider reading with other cards, some context to it. But you know, with this general reading here for the day, it's asking us to just take a moment, not because what we're doing requires a moment because we're about to do something wrong. No, it's just getting us to make sure that we know what we're doing and that we're prepared for what's going to be involved. And if the answer to those is yes, we're prepared, and we're prepared for, we believe it's right, and we know what's going to be involved, and we're prepared to do that, then yes, go ahead. But it's just to make sure that we're not rushing into it without considering it. Now, most of us probably wouldn't do that anyway, but it's saying just make sure that what you're committing to is what you really want. And if it is, then go for it. And if you're not sure, or if it's not, then just pull back a bit and delay that commitment. Think about it a bit more. You know, it's better to take some time to think about it and then decide, yeah, it is right, and then go for it a bit later on than rush into it and then regret it later. So let's make sure we make these wise choices. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. And we get Metamorphosis. And I love that it's got the two flamingos here with the heart. So it's that commitment. Because it's this is going to change us. This experience of our devotion and commitment to whatever it is, because it's long-standing, because it's a serious commitment, it's bound to have an impact of change upon our lives. And that's why it's important to make sure it's going to be the right kind of change. And that's all that these cards are saying. Just make sure that what you're doing is going to bring into your life what you really want. Okay, so that's today's message. I'll be back tomorrow with day 24. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.